Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. I have another Yankee Candle haul video. This one is from the Yankee Outlet store. I stopped in because I wanted to grab my friend Nicole's candles for fall and just for, a pick-me-up, let her know I was thinking about her. So, hey, Nicole, if you're watching this, hey, I hope you love everything. I'm not going to post this video until after she receives her box and opens it, so that way no surprise will be ruined. The outlet had a really good deal going on, four for 30 or four for $48, and I decided to take advantage of that. I had some Yankee rewards money to spend up. I had a couple coupons, bounce back coupons that I received. They were a 10 off of 40, I believe. So I, and I also had $15 in rewards money. So I figured why not just go ahead and use them, and let's go ahead and get right into it. So the first things I picked up were the car jars. I don't really use the cardboard um, air fresheners for my car. I usually use like the vent clips or a smart diffuser. Um, but I figured for $1 a piece, you can't really beat it. It might give me a week or two worth of fragrance depending on how I use them. So what I typically do is I'll remove the cardboard from the sleeve, and I will open the top of the cellophane sleeve. I'll pull the string through, and I'll only leave about this much of the cardboard diffuser or scent, whatever you call it, exposed, so that way I'll get some fragrance that way. And as the days go on, when it's getting late, I can just pull the cellophane down and get more fragrance. And I believe that's how they tell you to do it, anyways. Yeah, it says directions for use for longer lasting scent. Cut a small opening in the top of the bag, then pull out the air freshener about a half inch. To further adjust strength, trim bottom off approximately half inch at a time. Air freshener should hang freely. Oils may stain fabrics and finished surfaces. Use product in accordance with applicable laws, blah, blah, blah. So it tells you kind of how to do it right there on the back. So the first one I picked up is Spiced Pumpkin for Nicole. This is one of her favorite Yankee scents. So I figured why not get her one of these to go ahead and travel, so she could travel with her fragrance. And I'm excited to see what she thinks about that. The next one I picked up is a 3-pack of the car jars. So the only reason why I got this is because there's 3 different scents in it, but I only wanted black coconut and turquoise sky. This has black coconut, Bahama breeze, and turquoise sky. I've never really been a fan of Bahama breeze. It just kind of smells like like hairspray to me. I don't know why it smells like. So when I was younger, I would go visit my aunt, my favorite aunt, by the way. She was a heavy smoker, and she would get out of the shower, she would do her hair, but she would put a lot of hairspray in her hair. And then afterwards, she would light up a cigarette. So all you'd smell is hairspray and cigarettes. And the hairspray that she used smells almost identical to Bahama Breeze. So it just brings back that smoky cigarette, perfumey smell to me that I just don't really care for. I'll most likely use it, but it's not going to be a favorite. The next one I picked up is Balsam and Cedar. You can't really go wrong with this one for the month of December. So I did notice if the rub and smell smells exactly like the product itself, it's going to smell identical to the candle. So for December, I can't wait to put that in the car. I did grab clean cotton, which is one of my favorites for days that I'm cleaning or after I've cleaned. I use the jar in my laundry room. And I also used to use the wax melts, the clean cotton wax melts in my laundry room. But since Yankee doesn't have them or in the tarts anymore, um, so I'm kind of excited to get this in the car. And then I also picked up 3 of the Sage and Citrus, which I am only showing 2 because as soon as I got back in my car, I immediately put one in. And just about an inch or 2 of the cardboard exposed really has made my car smell incredible the past few days. So I hope they last, at least a week or 2. But for $1, you can't really beat it. The next one that I got is Midsummer's Night. Again, it's one of my favorites. And then I also got Coconut Beach. I figured you can't really go wrong with your car smelling like coconut any time of year. I'm pretty happy with those. So those, like I said, were only $1 a piece. This says $6, but they were on sale. They were all on sale. These were $3. So the next thing that I got is, let's go ahead and get into the candles. So I bought 2 of these. I'm only showing one because I have one burning in my kitchen right now. This is one that I absolutely loved. I don't typically do candy sweets or anything like that in my home fragrance. But to me, this is just such a good performer that I had to get one for me and one for Nicole because she loves this one just as much. This is Jelly Beans. The scent description reads, a handful of grape jelly beans coated with sugar and ready to enjoy, with a few lemon and raspberry added in the mix. The scent notes are the top, juicy grape, orange, mixed blackberries, lemon. Middle notes, grape jelly beans, red raspberry jam. Base notes, sugar crystals. So this is definitely a sweet fragrance. Most people already know this scent, but you could absolutely smell everything they're talking about in the scent notes. But to me, this is exactly like opening up a bag of Brock's jelly beans, and that I love it. And the burn on mine, I've been burning it maybe 2 days now. It's been throwing about a 6.5, and I'm okay with that because I don't need my kitchen to be overpowered by any kind of fragrance. The next one that I got is Midsummer's Night. It's, like I said, it's one of my favorites. This is one that they only had it in a large jar. I did get 2 of the large jars. I'm burning one in my bathroom right now, and it's actually given me a pretty good throw in there. So I'm excited to see how it does burning down because I've noticed with this style and, well, with this label, the keyhole label, and this label, most of my jars around that time, once they got to about halfway and under, they just stopped throwing. But I figured since they were 4 for 48, and then I had several of the bounce back coupons for 10 off of 40, and then I had $15 worth of the fragrance money. So I figured, you know, why not spend $23? I'm bad with math, or something like that, for 4 jars. Can't beat it. The next one is Sparkling Snow. This one is one that I love burning year round. I will burn this in the bathroom, bedroom, living room, dining room. I'll even burn it in the kitchen. This is a 2024 pour. The Midsummer's Night and the Jelly Beans have the outlet labels, so I'm not sure if those were poured in, and they both say 25. Jelly Bean says 24, so I'm not sure if they were just relabeled on those years or if they were poured those years. I don't see Yankee pouring any more of this label last year just because they switched to the keyhole labels a few years ago. So the sparkling snow scent description reads, "This is a woody fragrance. The crisp, naturally fresh scent of gleaming snow-covered pines. The fragrance notes are the top, sweet orange, pine needles, crisp mint. Middle notes, evergreens, blue spruce, white pine, rosemary, eucalyptus, bay leaf, juniper berry. For the base notes, frosted white musk, fir balsam, sandalwood, cedarwood, and patchouli." Now, right off the bat, this to me smells like a clean, like almost like an ivory soap. It's definitely piney. You do get some eucalyptus and musk, but it's not a heavy musky scent. The next one is one that I absolutely love. This is a 2025 label. I don't know if it was poured recently or not, but it says the first came out in 2010, and that's around the time that I started falling in love with Yankee again. So this one is Soft Blanket. It's one of, like I said, one of my favorites. I will burn this year round. I burn it bedroom, bathroom, pretty much anywhere. The throw on the soft blankets were usually pretty light, but in my bathroom, I always got a noticeable scent. The reason why I got these in jars is because, well, I only got jars because that's all they had available in those scents. But you know what? For a few dollars per large jar, you can't really beat it. The next one that I got is Harvest. Now, this is the old container, and I actually got two of those. So they only had one of these in the outlet. Excuse me. So I knew I wanted to send Nicole a Harvest, so I'm going to send her this one, which I got on my way home from the outlets. I stopped at the Yankee store in my city and I grabbed her a couple things from there. One of them being Harvest. Now I don't see, other than the color, there's not much of a difference between the pours, so I'm not quite sure why this made it to the outlet. This has a 22 outlet label, but this is from the full line store. So I'm going to be sending her this Harvest right here and keeping the other one for myself because that is a fall staple for me. The scent description for Harvest reads, "This is a sweet and spicy fragrance. The fragrance of the fall harvest, when everything feels abundant, a mellow combination of cinnamon and clove scents, blended with notes of sweet apple and pumpkin to create a warm, welcoming sanctuary at home. The fragrance notes are top, red hot cinnamon, middle notes, cinnamon leaf, base notes, vanilla, and musk." This to me does not smell like that red hot cinnamon. This smells more like a nice baking cinnamon, like something that you would bake with. Like I said, I do get a slight vanilla, but it's not dominant. The musk, I really don't get any musk in this. It's mainly cinnamon. It's just so good. The next one I got was a 3-wick of the amber sandalwood. I do have it in a tumbler and a scent plug refill from a previous in-store purchase at my local Yankee. But this one is really become one of my favorites. The 3 wick is, this one has like those chunky wicks, and I don't know how this is going to perform. Hopefully, they perform a little better than Bath and Body Works 3 wicks have been performing for me lately, because those have been atrocious. I've never had a Yankee 3 wick, so I'm really excited to see how this performs. The scent notes for, and these were actually $10 at the outlet, so I figured $10, not bad. The scent notes for that is, this is a sweet and spicy fragrance. Warm yourself on a secluded beach with sun-drenched notes of driftwood, amber, and cardamom. Hints of caramel and patchouli round out this relaxing fragrance experience. The top notes are pepper, tonka bean, cardamom. Middle notes, caramel, lavender, amber. The base, cedarwood, sandalwood, vanilla, and patchouli. So I do get a caramel, but it's not like an edible caramel, at least not to me. This is more of a perfumer's grade caramel, and that's followed up with the patchouli. Do I get vanilla? A slight vanilla, but it's not a baking vanilla. It's not like like an edible vanilla. I definitely get sandalwood. I don't get any lavender. That might change once I burn it, but I definitely get the amber. That is probably one of the first things I noticed. But I'm obsessed with amber, sandalwood, patchouli, so this is definitely going to be a favorite of mine once I burn it. I have not burned my tumbler yet or used the scent refill, but just on cold, I absolutely love it. So the next one I picked up, are both for Nicole. So I picked up the spiced pumpkin 3 wick tumbler. This was poured in 24. This one was also poured in 24. Now, I did get her some scent plug um, refills, and then I also got her a couple of the fans. They didn't have the regular retail tag on there, so what they did was they had like just little barcodes. And I'm excited to see what she thinks of these, because My Spice Pumpkin did very well. I had to get this one at the full line store when I got her the Harvest tumbler, because I was smelling the refills in store and they all kind of smelled a little off. Um, they didn't smell right, so I'm like, I'm not going to get them here. I'm going to get them at the full line store. The scent notes for spiced pumpkin. This is a sweet and spicy fragrance. Spiced pumpkin is the essence of autumn, a smooth, comforting fragrance. Blends pumpkin with notes of cinnamon, nutmeg, and clove. A dash of mellow vanilla and baked aromas round out the base to create a warm, satisfying gourmand scent. The top notes are citrus, orange, nutmeg, spiced pumpkin. Mid notes, cinnamon, clove. Base notes, vanilla, and baked notes. This is definitely a pumpkin scent. It's more of a creamy pumpkin to me, with some nice baked notes. I don't get like a cookie or a pie crust or a cake. It just has a gourmand scent, like background note. I can't pinpoint it. I can't describe it exactly. It doesn't smell like a pumpkin pie. It doesn't smell like pumpkin muffins. It just has a warm note to it, if that makes any kind of sense. So what I do get is the cinnamon and nutmeg right off the top. I don't get much vanilla. I do get the nutmeg. That is also in there. So I'm hoping she enjoys this one because I'm not sure if she's had a Yankee 3 wick or not. And I just hope it performs for her. The next one that I got is apple pumpkin. Now, I'm going to send her the apple pumpkin wax melts and the apple pumpkin scent plug refill. I have not burned a apple pumpkin from this year, and this one is a 25 pour. Well, obviously it has the new label, which it smells fine. I'm not sure why it's there. Maybe they just wanted to get some fall in the outlet. So if this one throws, I will most likely probably send her another box in the near future with apple pumpkin in it because this is another one of scent that she loves. The wax melts and the scent plug, they all smell identical to each other, from the scent plug refill to the wax melts and the tumbler. The scent notes for apple pumpkin reads, "This is a sweet and spicy fragrance. Scents of fresh apples and baked pumpkins bring autumn to the forefront, with notes of warm spices adding a sense of coziness. This fragrance will transport you back to the apple orchard and pumpkin patch, ready to pick your own." The top notes are apple, yellow fruits, orange, fresh greens, and butter. The mid notes are baked pumpkin, red fruit, cinnamon, clove, nutmeg, fresh ginger. The base notes vanilla, caramelized sugar, baked pie crust, cream, and musk. I don't get any musk in this. I don't get any baked pie crust, but that usually for me comes later in when it's burning for any candle. I do smell a little bit of a caramel, but I mostly get the spices, pumpkin, and apple. The apple on this year's pour smells a little stronger than it ever has in the past, but I'm not hating it. The next one that I got three of them. I already burned one, but this is one of my number ones that I have to have on hand. I was really sad when Yankee stopped carrying it online and in stores. So I figure since I have three of them, I could go ahead and, you know, be happy again because I burned this from December all the way through to the end of winter. So one jar usually lasts me about a month, but now, I'll be able to savor and burn sparingly for at least this the this December through winter, and I won't have to splurge or save on them so much. So I definitely want to go back and get a few more because she said that they should get more in. She just doesn't know when. The scent notes for the scent story for White Christmas reads, "There's a quiet holiday beauty." That's I don't know what that is blocking the feedback. But it reads, "There's a quiet holiday beauty in this blend of woodsy evergreens and cool, freshly fallen snow." The scent notes are top mint, top is mint, Siberian pine, cool greens. The mid notes cypress, blue spruce. Base notes are tundra wood, cedar, and pine. I get eucalyptus, pine, and the cypress. That's the only thing I pick up out of this. This always has an incredible throw, even when Yankee was unscented in those unscented eras. This, even in a little votive, would make my entire living room smell incredible. This will try to take over my living room and dining room. It's always been a powerhouse for me. So even though they only had it in jars, I'm okay with that because my experiences with this specific candle have always been very pleasant. And I like how the white wax kind of has like a little shimmer. I'm not sure if you can go to see it on camera or not. And then, last but not least, let's get into. I was a little confused for a second because I wasn't expecting to see certain tumblers in the outlet, but I grabbed the last of what they had for the Halloween scents or the fragrances. Um, so they did have a one tumbler of mystical tarot card, which I'm excited because I love the way the large jars smelled that I bought from Target. This is just, it's so good. It's unexpected for Yankee, in my opinion. It's not heavy as Witch's Brew. It's really good. The scent notes are laying your cards on the table. The future becomes clear. Sense of black cherry, or the sense of cherry, black licorice, and tonka bean fill the room as you uncover your path forward. The scent notes are moss, cherry, leather, and cinnamon. So, what I get from this is this tells a specific story. This reminds me of sitting in like a log cabin with a fireplace burning, or even just sitting in like a study where it's lined with old shelves with old leather bound books. You could smell almost like a soft fire in the background, and you're sitting in a big worn in leather couch or chair with a bit of cherry tobacco burning somewhere. That's what I get out of this. Now, the notes on the label are licorice, cherry, and tonka. Sorry for the not focusing. I'm not going to fight it anymore. But it's just a beautiful scent. I can't wait to get this lit up because if I could find more, I'm definitely going to grab more because I love the way this smells. It smells identical to the large jars that I bought at Target. I'm just really excited to get this one going. And then I got two of the Witch's Brew tumblers. Most people know this one. You either hate it or love it. There's really no in between. That clove and patchouli really create such an incredible scent. And I had the tumblers a few years ago. They came out with that. I don't remember the label, but there was like bats or something all over it, and there was a picture of a witch with the cauldron. So I still have one of those large jars. It's paraffin, which I'm probably going to hang on to that because that style always gave me a great throw. I'm excited to see how well the tumblers do versus the large jar of the new 2025 release because I've never really had anything bad to say performance wise about Witch's Brew. So I do have four large jars of the 25 pour of the Witch's Brew. And I figured if those don't throw, I could just burn multiples all throughout my house. I do have the scent plug refills to pair them with. I will burn Witch's Brew all fall, all winter, and even sometimes in the spring and summer when I want a little bit of an earthy scent. The scent notes or the scent story is this is a woody fragrance. a Halloween favorite that gets everyone in the mood for a haunting, enchanting celebration. The scent of spicy sweet patchouli is mystically infused with seductive notes of clove, wood, and vanilla. Top notes: witch's woods, clove, cinnamon. Mid notes: jasmine and woody. The base: patchouli and vanilla. I get a little bit of like a cedar, but not like a cedar sap, more like the cedar bark. I get a little bit of sandalwood, but I don't think it's dominant enough to pick out and say, "Hey, that is sandalwood." I don't get any jasmine. I don't smell any floral at all. But the patchouli is definitely the forefront. It's the star of the show. And I do get the slightest vanilla, but I believe that's added to keep everything from being so sharp because patchouli and cedar can actually be very sharp. So the vanilla really adds a nice touch and tones it down a bit. So then I stopped at Bath and Body Works to get a couple candles for her that were on her wish list. But for some reason, my Bath and Body Works, they were completely out of so many candles. And they said they weren't going to be restocking a whole lot of fall because they're going to be going into holiday and winter. So Leaves was sold out in candle, but I figured I would get her the wallflower refill. And I also picked her up a scent adjusting wallflower diffuser. I figured she'll be able to get the essence or get an idea of what the candle would smell like so that way she can make her decision for next year or even order it online if she likes it that much so she could get the candle. The scent notes for Leaves reads spiced, fruity, and oh so cozy. Basically everything you love about fall. The notes: crisp red apple, golden nectar, and warm clove spice. To me, Leaves always smell more of like a mulled cider type of scent, like an apple cider. It's always performed very, very good for me. And I'm so excited to get her fall box, and I have so much to burn through now. I'm quite happy. I didn't spend as much as I thought I was going to, thanks to the 3 bounce back coupons, the 10 off of 40. And then I had rewards. So it brought the total down considerably. But thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, have a great one.